In 99 Nights in the Forest, there exists a rule set known as Party Mode, which is basically a normal game but hyped up on Pepsi. Also, sadly, it's only available on update days. Regular Party Mode is just a normal game with a few small changes like decorations or party themed and stuff like that. But the main thing that makes it special is that the admins are there using commands and making the game exciting. But without further ado, let's go! So I kind of forgot to record the first day, so we're starting off on day 2. But anyway, on day 2, I checked everything out since this is my first time playing party mode, since it's the only time it's ever happened because I just started doing it. But basically, there's a hacker on my server, so I was just checking out everything that was happening, and they were just kind of speeding around and teleporting. But actual stuff I did was, for one, I was disguised as a green bean avatar. And also, I just kind of collected a few items and started building the camp, and then I revealed myself. But then the trader came because the admin spawned him. There's a lot of stuff that happened today. Mainly it's just the admins doing stuff and giving people diamonds. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this day. Oh yeah, and also the admins gave everyone money. So obviously we used it to buy cosmetics. A lot of cosmetics since they gave us a lot of money. Day 3. Day 3, nothing really happened. The hacker just got a bunch of resources and put them on the ground everywhere. I don't know how she got poop, but it's there. And everyone was just kind of building up the camp. You can see that a lot was done. I was seeing if there's anything I could craft, but they basically bought everything. And then they started building walls out of shelves, and that was pretty cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the hacker got all the kids immediately. So I know it says day 6 at the top of the screen, but the actual day was day 2. But now it's day 3, and on day 3 I got a gun and also some more diamonds that the admins dropped. And you can really see the camp starting to come into its own and be cool because they fenced in the entire thing so that raiders will not be able to come in as much. And I tried fishing and I'm rusty because I haven't played since the fishing update. And the hacker was just doing all sorts of things. And then the admin spawned a mammoth and we all tried to fight it. It didn't go too well because this thing's really strong, as a mammoth is. And then the mysterious group / raiders made their way towards our campfire, but it was party mode, so we beat them easily. And as we were fighting them, the hacker was flying around and shooting. I don't really know. And also the admins were talking. The pellet trader arrived, and everyone just started looking around the camp more because now we were more comfortable in party mode. And then I was looking around the camp and another mammoth spawned, so that was fun. Oh yeah, it's also day 4 now, so yeah, I got used to it. So we were fighting that mammoth thing again, and we were kind of losing. But we all got chainsaws, so we eventually beat it, and that was cool. And now it's day 21 / day 5. I didn't record much for day 4, did I? But anyway, we got some cake, we killed the raiders, and I was just eating cake here. And then I was trying to get the raider into the campfire, even though he was already maxed out because of the hacker. So then I went over and tried to explore some more. I didn't really find much, I just went and found a bunny foot, which I would use for the pelt trader. But then the devs spawned in a sundial blueprint for some reason, or that might have been the hacker, I can't even tell at this point. But I brought it back to camp and placed it, even though we already had several of them built. But since everyone got one, I assume it was the admins. And yeah, that's pretty much all we did today. Oh yeah, and also we got a bunch of coal, so our fire is pretty good for the rest of the game. And then the devs gave us the new blueprint that was never added to the game. And honestly, I think it's pretty cool. It's a watchtower blueprint. So yeah, they should add that to the game. And also bow and arrows, that'd be pretty sick. But then he spawned the blueprint and everyone built their watchtowers. So by the end of this, our base is going to be looking like a military base. So yeah, the archer tower is pretty cool. I'm going to call it an archer tower because I used to play Clash of Clans. So yeah, it's an archer tower. And then also we bought furniture. More furniture. A lot of furniture. But then we went out, I got a chainsaw, threw it because I already had one, and grabbed the cultist body and threw it in the fire. And then another missing child was rescued / the last one. The hacker somehow got them out of order. The hacker got 1, 2, then 4, which I don't even know how one does that, how. And then, yeah, it was nighttime, so we just kind of chilled at the camp all night. And I started beef with this green bee, and he started chasing me. So I ran out of camp with great fear as he viciously chased me. Then I hopped back into camp when no one was looking, and I grabbed a leather body, so now I'm all suited up and ready for battle. And then it's day 6. On day 6, nothing really happened. It was just kind of the same as yesterday. The admins did their thing, and they just said we're at 4.7 million players right now. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Oh yeah, they also spawned these weird sandwiches, which I thought would like kill me if I ate it or something, but nah, they were good. But I just left them on the ground since I wasn't hungry. And then the developer said that there's more players than their home country in the game right now, which honestly is kind of crazy to think about. But then we got a bunch of wood, and I grabbed the hammer, so I was going around removing decorations and placing them in other places. I didn't know how they got these like party decorations, but I knew I wanted to move them. But then I was tired to explore, and I went out, and then everything was wet, so I decided to go home because I can't really get wood. And then the developer said they hear a ribbit, so then I decided to check it out to see if there's any frogs. And I thought maybe I could fish it out of the lake, so I tried that. But then the developers gave us all ray guns, and also the alien class, but that's basically what it is, it gives you a ray gun. And then they prepared to spawn the frogs and also the raiders. So it did the animation for the thing, and we started defeating the raiders. They weren't that hard since we had overpowered gear, but it was still pretty fun just overpowering them with our overpowered guns and stuff. Normally ray gun is pretty rare, unless you have alien, which is what we did. And we basically had multiple classes at once because we had our original class, mine was Fisherman, and also Alien at the same time. So I think that's the first time someone's actually gotten 2 kits in the same run, like at the same time. And then the developers said it was pretty easy, so then they spawned more. And also frogs. I know that's the whole point of the update, but they basically split into tiny frogs when you kill them. And then those tiny frogs, I think, stand still. And also the big frog drops a frog key, which I have no idea what it does. It probably is a way to get to the king frog, though, which is apparently a boss in this. So I was just finishing off the raiders around the map. And I got the cultist gem, but we already had like 30 of those from the admins. But then this frog started trying to attack me, so I beat him up. It was a pretty eventful day, I'd say. I stole the cultist gem, shot him a few times, and he split into more frogs, because that's what it does. But then the mini frog just stood still. I don't know if that was a game bug, or if it was just not supposed to do that, or what. But I chainsawed them, because I have a chainsaw, and that was cool. Day 7. Yeah, day 7 was pretty cool, actually. It was basically just a kind of recuperating day after the events of yesterday. So we went and cleaned up all the frogs that were still in the base, and I still couldn't figure out how the recycler works. Actually, I don't think I mentioned the recycler. The devs gave us a blueprint for it, and it basically, I think it was like a beta version of the biofuel processor, and it's kind of cool, although I don't really understand it. And then I tried to uncover this dirt that was underneath the rock. I thought it was like a secret, but nah, it was just a bug. And then the devs promised us more money, so I stayed around the camp even though I wanted to go explore. And we just kind of stood there for a bit until we got our gems. And then when the gems started raining, it was pretty cool. And the devs said that they would do a full storm later, which you should stick around to see because it's going to be awesome. But it was raining and it was dropping gems near the campfire. And we all struggled to get them. Although I don't think other people can steal your gems, but we didn't know that at the time. We thought that it was like every man for himself. But now that I look at the event description, I actually think that like there was 3 diamonds per person or like 5, however many I picked up. But it was pretty cool. Diamonds are pretty rare to get. So I gave the pelt trader my bunny foot, and I finally got a good sack so I can hold more items now. So that's pretty sick. I got 2 frog keys, which was kind of odd because I thought they were rare, but I guess it was just because the devs are spawning them or something like that. So I just kind of stood there, looked at the map. The hacker has been teleporting all over the map, so our map is basically full size, like you can see everything. And I debated going to get the chest, but there was like 5 seconds till nighttime, so I decided to chill at the base for the night. So yeah, nighttime. Nighttime, as usual, was not very eventful. I just kind of existed and waited for it to end because I didn't want to get jumped by the deer. But he did say he was going to spawn some aliens, the developers. So I got ready for that, readied my ray gun, and prepared for battle. And then I waited for the aliens, and they took a long time to come, so the devs dropped some chests before the aliens. The aliens took a long time to spawn if you couldn't tell. But anyway, they gave us some loot to keep us satisfied until they unleashed the final boss. But then I couldn't see the chests falling from the sky, and they just kind of appeared on our plot, which is kind of funny now I think about it. They told us to look up in the sky, and then nothing ever appeared in the sky. It was almost like hide and seek. They were telling us to look up in the sky / cover their eyes while they hid the chests around our camp. So that was fun. I just stared into the sky for like 5 minutes and then wondered where the chests were. Today just had a lot of stuff we had to wait for. And in the end, I did get the chests, and I got some thorn armor / whatever you call it. It's basically armor that reflects any damage that is done to you. It reflects some of it back to the opponent, which I think is pretty cool. Even though it's NPCs most of the time, which, yeah, NPCs attack you. At least some of them do. I don't know if frogs by themselves are hostile. They just kind of stood still when I tried to attack them. But yeah, I got the thorn armor, and then I decided that I was going to try and figure out how to use this recycling machine. I couldn't figure it out still. So I just grabbed the forest gem fragment that was also in the chest and tried to find another fragment of the gem so I could fuse it. Because that's actually a really valuable material if you can make a full gem. So yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, and I keep forgetting to say it, but it's day 8 now too. But they spawned the aliens finally on day 8. And we were ready. They did the alien emojis and we beat them all up. As you can see here, there's an alien that I flung. And then I looked around the camp for any other ones, and there wasn't really anything. We had a bunch of wood range storages, which is honestly fair, even though we didn't need it because we had enough wood already. But I guess we were building shelves, so I guess we did kind of need it. But as everyone was building, it was pretty congested in the camp, so I decided I was going to go look around the camp and try and find, like, something. But then I got distracted and started trying to shoot the water for some reason. I don't know why. But then I found an alien that hadn't died last night, which is kind of weird. So I chainsawed him, and he died. Yeah. And then I guess I was angry at him or something because I started beating him up. But yeah, he's going to go in the campfire after I'm done getting him stuck. So yeah, he's going in the campfire, even though the campfire doesn't need it. And the developer said, we're getting to the good stuff. So yeah, the good stuff. My good stuff, they mean Diamond Rain / the final thing. But they gave us all flamethrowers because that's a responsible thing to do for children, which is this game's main demographic. I know. I had fun with the flamethrower, although it was kind of boring after a while because I thought it would be way more destructive. But it's still cool. I wouldn't say it's worth 600 gems, but it's a cool class. Probably wouldn't buy it. I'm going to focus on getting like the poison class. I think it's pretty cool. I emptied out my inventory so I could get the flamethrower in my 7th slot because, as you know, there isn't a 10 key on a keyboard. So I had to empty out my inventory so I could actually access all my items via keybind. Because there's only 9 items that you can have in your inventory before you just can't hold any more. Well, you can, but it's just really annoying to, like, equip them. But then we found some more red chests, and me and the gang opened them up. I forgot to say, you also play with 10 players during this whole thing, which made it really weird, because normally there's only like 1 or 2 players, 4 if you're lucky. But having this many people, and also a hacker, made this such an interesting run to play, and also to witness. We weren't even really playing, because the developers are just giving us presents and seeing what we did with them, and also spawning mammoths. And also, this bird thing woke up, and for some reason it was just sitting there T-posing. I tried to make it wake up. Like, I shot it in the face. I tried to touch it, didn't kill me. And then I tried to chainsaw its leg, because maybe that would work. But nah, it just sat there, didn't do anything. And it stayed there for the entire, like, full 88 days. And then some people built lightning rods and started building, like, the Roman Empire or something, some sort of castle. And then the admin said that something interesting was going to be happening in the morning, so then we chased off the deer in the middle of the night, and yeah, we waited for the morning and faced whatever challenge we were going to face. After killing the raiders, of course, because they're weak. They're really easy to beat when you have flamethrowers and ray guns and that kind of stuff. Yeah, they're really easy. At this point, I wanted the admins to do something fresh because I was getting kind of bored of them just spawning enemies and giving us random guns. And they delivered. They said, get back to base, something very evil is coming. And then a blizzard started. I don't know if that was the admins, but it definitely was kind of strange. I don't know if it was the admins or the hacker or just random chance. But I like the blizzard. It looks cool. Although if you step beside your campfire, you start rapidly losing your heat meter. And if you do that, you can't sprint, which, judging by what the devs were saying, is about to come and jump us. It probably wouldn't be that good. But yeah, we prepared for the fight that was inevitable tomorrow. And also our fire went out, which is kind of weird. But then my eyes saw the evil bunny. It was a bunny, but it was black and had red eyes. It started trying to jump me, so I hit it with a flamethrower. And it started trying to jump me, and it had no animations, which was kind of funny, actually. It was just levitating toward everyone, but I killed it with a flamethrower. It was pretty easy, actually. Although it did tank half my HP bar, because I only had leather armor. And it dropped another frog key, which still don't know what those do. Like, at all. But my teammates, basically all at this point, everyone had thorn armor. Actually, so did I. I don't know why I said I had leather armor. But the devs are kind of beefing with each other now. And, like, they kind of started a war, which caused them to start spawning things. I don't know why they were beefing with each other and decided to send us the stuff that they were going to send. I don't really know. At this point, I was genuinely convinced that we couldn't get more overpowered. It said maybe if we rebuilt our fire. I don't even know how that went out. Like, I know the blizzard is, like, makes it go down faster, but we're at, like, full fire. But anyway, the devs were beefing, talking about TikTok, and just kind of yapping a lot. So we just kind of looked around, and then they were just saying, I'm not on TikTok. Yeah, this day was kind of boring, if I'm being totally honest. It was just the devs yapping. But honestly, it was kind of funny to just be there and look at that. And also, half the team left halfway through the thing, so I lost, like, a lot of my brothers and comrades. So then the devs decided they were going to try something new, and they said, here's something to help, and gave us some resources that were kind of interesting. They gave us some stuff. But also, if you made it this far into the video, can you subscribe? I worked really hard on editing and voicing over this video because, yeah, it's a 20-minute video, so I really hope you're enjoying it. But if you are, can you boop that subscribe button? I'm going to stop yapping now and get back to the actual gameplay. So the devs were just spewing out some brain rot, and they gave us admin axes and admin guns. And I was questioning why. Are they going to, like, send, like, the King Frog at us? Or, like, what? But the axe was pretty OP. I wanted to test it out to see what it could do. It could immediately chop down any tree in the game, which is kind of busted. But it's only in party mode, so sadly you can't get that in the real game. The closest thing to that is a chainsaw, which I don't know why I didn't replace my chainsaw. It just gave me, like, a better version of the chainsaw, but didn't replace it in my inventory like a sack did, which is kind of weird. But anyway, I tried to find a big tree to try and chop down, and I tried to find something to test my admin gun on. And the developers promised money, so I had to rush back to camp to see what they were offering up, because money, you know what I mean? And they gave us a whole ton of oil for our fire, and another blizzard started. And also I got this cool helmet, so rate my drip in the comments. But anyway, we were just waiting for the gems to start raining, and then we looked up and saw this. I'm just gonna let this part play out because this is kind of insane. So yeah, I'm gonna stop yapping now.